What's up, everyone? All right, today I'm doing basically what is really good and bad products, just sharing about some favorites and products I don't like. But I figured it'd be fun to categorize this particular video as products that I've received in PR that I would either recommend or absolutely not recommend. So in my head, I was going through my makeup collection and thinking about what products that were sent to me would be ones that I would buy with my own money, and which ones would I say absolutely I would not buy with my own money. I don't think you guys should, and here's why. So that is what we're doing. I'm excited. I don't have anything else to say. Let's dive right on in. So I'm trying to decide, do I want to start on a good note and talk about all my faves, or do I want to talk about the ones like I'm not loving? I think I'm gonna save those for last. That's the juiciest part, trust me. So if you've been around my channel for a while, you may remember a couple years ago, I removed myself from like probably 80 to 85, the percentage changes, I don't really know, but like probably 80 to 85% of the PR list that I was on, I removed myself from. And really it was just because for the first few years of receiving PR, it was so amazing. And I know so many of you guys are watching this and thinking like, oh my gosh, like I wish I could receive PR. So this is not me coming from a place of like being ungrateful. I'm absolutely grateful and can't believe still that this is something I get to do. But it just gets to a point where I can't keep up with it and it's too much for one person to use or even try. And on top of that, I couldn't donate it fast enough. I couldn't give it away to friends and family fast enough. Like it was just a lot. So I thought I'm gonna curate that list down, and that's kind of where I've been living the past few years, and it has been so much better because I feel like I can really try out things I'm interested in, and then I'm buying things that I really genuinely want to try. So it's been a great change for me, but that I wanted to share only because I wanted you to know where my mindset is here, and that if I'm talking about something I got in PR, whether it's positive or negative, I'm not talking about it in a certain way to like stay on a PR list or to whatever. I'm just being real with y'all and just sharing my thoughts. A lot of brands in the past few years have moved to the model of like emailing content creators when there's a PR package that they're wanting to send out, and the creator can either opt in and say, yes, I want to receive this launch, or they just don't respond and so it's not sent to them. I think that's a good model because even within a brand, there are certain launches I'm absolutely interested in, and then there are certain ones that I'm like, no, I'm good, it's not right for my skin type, I won't use it, etc. So that's not really important to this video at all. Frankly, most of that was not, but I just wanted to share that because I do think it's kind of a good shift. So there's a lot less wasted product being sent out, a lot less wasted packaging, oh my gosh. Anyway, I like that I said, that's all I have to say about the intro, and then I went into like a secondary intro. All right, let's start with the things I love and I do think are worth the money. The first one is the foundation I'm wearing today, and that's from the brand LYS, which stands for Love Yourself, and it's their Triple Fix Serum Foundation. This has hyaluronic acid, turmeric, and ashwagandha. It's cruelty-free, vegan, gluten-free. First of all, packaging-wise, stunning. It's just like a triangular little prism. It's got the beautiful like rose gold, and it's a nice frosted glass bottle with a really good pump. But beyond that, the superficial, this is just a pretty product. I think this would be something you'd like if you like medium coverage and you like more glowy, dewy skin. I typically will still put this on top of like a nice, super moisturized base, and it will definitely look moisturized, but I do need to set it. And I'm someone that has more normal to dry skin. So I don't know if you have the oily skin type, if this is gonna be something you would love, but I think everyone else, you really would, and it's just pretty. I feel like it looks skin-like, it blends in fast, like it's not streaky. So I've been a really big fan. This is definitely a fave. If you are wondering about my shade, I wear LP4. I think once it's on, it looks pretty good. I think it might be a smidge too dark, but not enough that I feel like I need to get a different shade. I think it works pretty well. Ooh, I'm going fast like this is a speed reviews video, as if I go fast in those, please, but you know what I mean. Another favorite, and I've talked these to death, so I won't talk too long about these, is the Makeup by Mario liners. I was looking at trying to do a different video in the next few weeks, which I might still do, and I was looking at a bunch of lists online of like cult favorites. And this was on one of them, and I thought, interesting, because it's a pretty new launch, and in my head, if it's a cult favorite, it needs to like have been around a while, but I don't know that that's really the definition of it. I don't know, I need to like do a deep dive into that, but my point is these liners are special. I don't know what in the world, and let me rephrase, I think the brown one is special. The black one is really, really good, and I'm typically a black liner girl through and through, but the brown liner, there's something about the formula that's ever so slightly less transfer-y. So it's more transfer proof. That's what I'm trying to say. So I clearly have almost used this up. I just sharpened it again finally. I use this every single day to tightline my eye. I'll get on the waterline up there. It never transfers down ever. The black one wears really well too, but I'll usually have at least one moment of like where it transfers down. Then when I wipe it up, it's usually good. But I'm telling you, the brown one's better. And the brown one is so dark that even if you're like me and you like black liner better, it looks black, like it's so dark. But what I love about this too is that, I'll show you the one that's not as dirty. It has this really cool brush on the other side that you can use to kind of flick out the liner. And so I'll just make sure I just applied the liner, and then I'll use this and it'll do this beautiful smudgy flick that I feel like is so trendy right now. I love them so much. So I'm definitely gonna repurchase this brown one soon once I run out. Cannot recommend them enough. I used the brown one today, by the way, but then I used the Physicians Formula liquid liner for like the flick and everything. All right, this is one, I'm kind of cheating on this one because this was sent to me in PR and then I got rid of it because I thought I'm not interested. And then I heard everyone talking about it. And I was like, well, I want to know. So I ended up buying it. So in theory, this one was bought, but it was also sent in PR. So I'm gonna count it. This is the Kosas 10-second eyeshadow in the shade Globe. I keep saying, and I really think I'm right, this was the most amazing. You shake it up and you apply it to, like, I'll put it all over my lid. I'll just grab a brush and just blend it really quickly, and it's the prettiest. It catches light beautifully. I flew with this, and I am telling you, it has never been the same. Something happened to the formula, and I'm so bummed about it. So I need to just buy it again because I was traveling with it. I loved it so much, but now I know maybe don't travel with it because I think something happens and like it's separated and I cannot get it to like remix properly and look the way it used to. So that's just something to keep in mind, but I love it and it's totally worth it. Just don't fly with it. All right, this next one is also from Makeup by Mario, and I do have a fail from this brand too, but these are their Master Crystal Reflector highlighters. Now, I don't use these as a highlight. The way I watched Mario himself use these was as like an eyeshadow topper. Oh my gosh, my favorite is Quartz. And Quartz I was sent in PR, and the other shade I ended up buying because I was so obsessed with this one. It's all broken apart. That's the one thing. It's super soft. So you have to, again, I wouldn't travel with it, but I usually just press it back into the pan because it kind of feels like a putty. But it just gives this ridiculous, like almost wet look to the eye. And it looks so like unassuming, but when you tap it on the eyelid, it is stunning. So I think Quartz is the best one if you were to buy one. Bronzite I like, but it's not the same exact effect. It's a pretty color, and really that's what I would prefer color-wise, but I don't find that it gives the same like effect that the white one does. Let me show you them side by side. Like it doesn't look as wet, if you will, as the white one. I tapped the Bronzite one on first today on top of my eyeshadow, and I again was like, but then I tapped a little bit of the Quartz and it was stunning again. I didn't put as much as I normally do, but I just feel like it's so pretty. Ugh. It's one of those things that every time I wear it, I get asked what eyeshadow I have on. Of course, now I just got it in my mascara, but definitely recommend Quartz. Bronzite, maybe not so much. I know the color looks tempting. It's just not the same thing. And furthermore, the white in the Quartz one, it doesn't go on white. Like it's more of maybe like a silvery shimmer, but it doesn't like make your eyeshadow look white. This is one I got in PR a long time ago, like years ago, but I still love them so much. And the second I looked in my lip drawer, I was like, these for sure. These are the Milk Cream lipsticks. I have the shade Hype right there. Beautiful kind of purpley pink color. And my personal favorite is this one, which is OG Red. It is the most beautiful red that makes your teeth look white. It's super pigmented and creamy. These are just comfortable. They're comfortable to wear on the lips. I'm not wearing it today. I'm wearing a different lip color if you're curious. Again, I'm wearing Charlotte Tilbury Wedding Bells, but these are just like that lipstick. Like they're that kind of lipstick that are creamy, moisturizing, but like high color. They're gonna stay really well. They're not a liquid lipstick. You're still gonna need to reapply throughout the day, but they're beautiful. So I want to recommend, if you have any recommendations from this line, a really good like neutral shade like this, I would love to own one from that line because I love the formula, but these are the 2 shades I own. So another product I really love is from Laura Mercier. And I almost didn't mention these because I had to kind of play the game with myself where I was like, okay, these are just a powder blush. Are they really worth it? I really think they are. I think they're so beautiful. So these are the Laura Mercier Blush Color Infusions. I have 3 shades here. I have Watermelon, Bellini, and Fresco. Let me show you some swatches of them. Like I said, really simple, sleek packaging, but I'm telling you, man, they are so freaking beautiful on the cheeks. It's ridiculous. So there's Watermelon, Bellini, and Fresco. Fresco is definitely my favorite of all of them because I just feel like it's such a kind of unique, like dusky shade that even if you have fair skin, I think looks beautiful on. And I don't know, there's something about when you put these on the cheeks. I'm wearing Watermelon today, which is the one that was kind of like a light watermelon color. I'll even apply a little bit more. I just feel like it adds this like glow, and they're not shimmery blushes, but they have this like satin finish to them that just is captured on the cheeks so beautifully. Like, oh my gosh. So I don't know, man. There's something special about them that I can't quite pinpoint. I love all 3 of these shades. I think probably my favorite 2, like I said, definitely Fresco. And then out of Watermelon Bellini, I think I like Watermelon best. It's such a springy, poppy color. I know like sometimes when I'm looking at these shades and trying to link them for you guys, it's as though some shades are sold on Sephora or wherever, and then other ones you can only get on Laura Mercier's site. So I'm not sure which is which there, but I'll link what I can below. Guys, I feel like a lion today with my mane. All right, let's talk about the few that I just don't think are worth it. They're just not. This was one I saw on the blog post, like cult favorite things from some magazine. And I was like, what? Like everyone I've heard talk about this, myself included, don't like it. So it's from Rare Beauty. This is their melting blush. Everything about the packaging of this is stunning. It's so freaking cute, but it's just not good. Every time I try to apply it, it's, you know, a cream blush. You think like, okay, like it looks great. But there's something about the fact that it's kind of like a, moussy's not the right word, but it's kind of a powdery cream. It just doesn't apply well to the cheeks. I'll use a stipple brush, I'll use my fingers. It always pulls up the makeup and moves it around underneath. So then it always makes my makeup look patchy, the blush and the foundation underneath. So it's one of those that there's so much good out there, both at the high-end price point and of course at the drugstore price point, that this is just not worth, I don't think, anyone's money. If you have it, you know, you could use it and you can make it work, but if you hadn't bought it, I would say avoid. No matter how cute the packaging is, I know, I would avoid. Honestly, the Rare Beauty like liquid blush is so much better. That's what I would do instead of that. Okay, Bare Minerals. I have 2 things on the I don't like list. But I almost mentioned another product from Bare Minerals on my things that I loved. Their new eyeshadow launches, they're not very good. And it stinks because the packaging idea is really cool. This whole thing is recyclable. You can just cut this off and take the eyeshadow portion out, and then this part's recyclable. I'm like, that's so cool. So the idea behind that, A++. The actual shadows, not great. This is the one I brought. I think they sent the entire collection. I'm just gonna donate. And I thought about swatching all the other ones, but I've heard the same thing from different people talking about different palettes in this line that I'm like, I don't wanna waste them. Someone else might be super excited and love them. But yeah, this was the color story that spoke to me the most. It's called Sunlit. And these are just a little bit dry, not super blendable. They're just okay. Like they're not even swatching that bad, I should say. But I just felt like every time I did my makeup with it, I just felt underwhelmed. And I'm not that hard to impress. Like I like a wash of color. I like neutrals. But even for me, I was like, I just don't think it's great. So wanted to mention it in case you were eyeing it. I would skip it. And it's such a shame because the old Bare Minerals, I ended up buying a new one like clearanced out. Their old eyeshadow palettes, I think they should bring back because this neutral one is the best shadow quality. I don't repurchase eyeshadow palettes often. This is one I did really because 2 of the shades shattered, but I used it all of the time and now I still do. So this from Kosas, I don't think is like awful. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. It's their Airbrow line. I have their pencil and the pencil's pretty good. Like it's a typical eyebrow pencil, but it works well. I use the Airbrow today in my brows, like this clear one. Packaging, 10 out of 10. I think this is the cutest, like this iridescent, and I love it. I absolutely love their packaging. I just don't feel like these are great. They have so many competitors doing brow products like this, and like the clear one doesn't really hold my brows very well. Like they're just as soft and movable as they were before. Now you might be looking for that. But for me, if I'm taking the time to do the step of clear brow gel, I'm doing it because I want my brows to stay in place, and this doesn't do that for me. So there's that. Then the colored one, I think I would like it a little bit better if I could find a better shade match. It's super pigmented. I don't like on me a super dark brow look. I've certainly changed my tune over the years a lot. My brows have changed a lot, but I just feel like this doesn't do it for me. So I wanted to mention it. If you want a non-crunchy brow, like in the clear one, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like what's the point even if it doesn't hold it in place, you know? All right, this one I have given so many tries and I just don't think I like it. I don't think it's a great product. This is the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Bronzer. I love this shade and that's why I keep trying it over and over again. I have it in light. It's as though it's so densely packed, I cannot get it to like come off and onto my face. I don't know. And maybe it's that it is a little light, which I prefer in a bronzer. And maybe I do need to go a shade up, but I just don't know that this is worth the price tag. I really think the like e.l.f. primer infused bronzer, is that what it's called? Primer bronzer, is so much better than this and it stays on really well and it shows up really well. You just don't need to spend the money on this. There are better high-end bronzers out there too. So it's one that I kept trying and trying and trying and I just kept not liking. All right, another Bare Minerals. This is their original liquid mineral concealer. This is not the right shade for me, so I wanna start with that. And maybe perhaps in the future, I will try it again in a shade that's closer to what I would actually wear. This just felt so not great on my under eye. I felt like I could see every little imperfection. It didn't cover as much as I wanted. And my understanding is this is supposed to be kind of like a medium coverage concealer. Do y'all like it? I feel like I've heard a lot of people like it, and that's why I'm tempted to be like, maybe I should try another shade closer to what I would actually wear, because this is definitely like, I didn't even show you the swatch, did I? This is definitely a little yellow for me. But I don't know, I just wasn't super impressed, but as I've said a million times, I do think if you don't have the right shade for you, a lot of products are gonna kind of present as not being very good because it just wasn't the right shade. So let me know your thoughts. Maybe I will give this one another try, but I just kind of felt underwhelmed. I feel like so many of my YouTube friends love it too though, and that's another reason that I'm like, feel like I should try it again. We'll see. Let me know your thoughts. That's everything. I am sure I've got a million others I could mention. If you enjoyed this style of video, kind of PR focused, I wouldn't want to do it all the time, but I certainly could probably pull this off a couple times a year, just kind of going through and pulling things. I enjoyed doing it. I thought it was kind of fun to look at it through a slightly different lens than I maybe normally would. If you did enjoy, I hope that you'll subscribe and stick around and check out some of my other videos. I did recently do some really fun ones, the drugstore dupes video recently. I've been doing a lot more vlogs than usual, which I've really been enjoying, so I'd love if you check those out next. And other than that, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.